We're just going to come into a nice seated position. Maybe you want to sit on a bolster to help elongate the spine and tilt the pelvic bowl forward. Letting the heart be soft. Letting the crown of the head reach towards the heavens. And letting yourself deeply fall into the bones of your sacrum. Maybe shifting your weight from side to side. Finding the center point between your right side body and your left side body. Letting out some breaths, dropping the shoulders, and then beginning to rock forward and backwards. Finding the center point once again between forward and backward. And just breathing here for a few breaths. Letting the eyes close if they have not already. And then cleansing the breath, so letting out any air that's in your body now. And taking a gentle breath in through the spine. Exhale. 2 more, just like this. Slow inhale. Exhale, widening and softening. Letting out some sound. Last one. Letting out any wiggles with this one, any sound. Bowing the chin towards the chest. Calling your spirit, your soul, your heart, your presence, any guides that you may or may not work with into this space now. They are with you always. And setting an intention for your practice today. If you have your own, I invite you to work with that. Otherwise, the general intention for this session together is to come into our bodies, is to build the foundation of this series together, is to notice without judgment what feels good, with curiosity what needs improvement, with love the movement of our body as it is now. And so it is. Finding your way onto your back, moving with your breath. So yoga, I think, gets a lot of attention on physical asana. But really, yoga is about presence and breath and dropping in. So as we come to our backs, we're going to bend the knees and we're just going to let the body move. Maybe that's a little swaying from side to side. Maybe there is no movement. And you're just going to find your breath. Because really, at the end of the day, the postures we move through is just a way to free up tension, free up energetic lines, so that we can breathe and be present and attuned to this moment, this ever unfolding moment. To being unattached to the way things look. If the arms are not already spread out wide, opening them and allowing your shoulders to rest fully into the ground. And finding some stillness. Bringing the knees together, widening the feet and the heels out towards the sides of your mat, creating this beautiful triangle. Breathing deeply into the belly. And coming into what is called Ujjayi Pranayama, which is breathing through the nose and out the nose. So you'll gently close your mouth and release the tongue. And on an inhale, you breathe in slowly through the deepest part of you that you can find. And then on the breath out, the mouth is still closed, the jaw relaxed, you breathe out the nostrils, and there might be this sighing that happens at the back of your throat. So I've exaggerated that breath a little bit for you to hear. So you should hear it a little, but it shouldn't be so overbearing. Finding your breath pattern. Beautiful. Noticing how the body is already shifting energetically. What may or may not be arising as we lay here in breath and stillness. So we'll just warm up the joints a little before we get into the foundational postures. We're going to extend the left leg long and invite this beautiful right knee in towards the chest. The arms and the fingertips can wrap around the shin. Come back to your breath always. Allowing the spine to be long and the shoulders relaxed. You're going to invite the right knee just a little bit closer to the heart. And then exhale, bring it out towards the armpit, so it's less towards the midline of your body and more towards the armpit of your right side body. A gentle hug and squeeze in on an inhale, and a gentle releasing, softening on the exhale. Up and in, out and soft. Both hips or sides of the sacrum are on the floor. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. We're going to guide with the knee. The knee goes all the way over first, as far as it can, and then we roll onto the left hip. Right hip faces up. Right shoulder can lift. And then just move on that hip like you're massaging the left body, noticing any stretching in the outer hip, the lower back. Relax the toes. And breathe. And find some stillness. Relax the inner thigh of the right leg. Let out a sigh. Slowly we come back to center by moving with the knee first. Knee, and then the hips follow. I'll get in towards the chest. Option to stay here or to lift the head and the neck up towards that knee. And back down. Exhale, right leg goes long. Inhale, left leg comes in. We start again on the other side. So don't rush. Really feel the length of the spine and the right leg and the heaviness of the pelvis, the shoulders. We're in Capricorn season, which is an earth sign, so it's all about grounding down into the bones, the foundation of our bodies, of our practice. Inhale, squeeze that knee just a little closer to the heart. Exhale, bring it out towards that left armpit. And breathe. So again, on the inhale, squeezing up and in. And releasing on an exhale, opening, softening. Letting the breath be soft, minimal effort here. And then leading with the knee, the right hand to the outside of the left leg. You can even look left as the left knee comes over the right side. Gentle twist. Really focus on the breath, breathing into the low belly. Breathing into any spots in the body, the low back. Leading with that knee, we come back to center, right? So the knee brings us back. The pelvis is heavy on the floor again. Hug that knee in and let it go long. Palms out towards the sides, face up for receptivity, face down for grounding. Beautiful, drawing both knees in at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to engage the core here. So the core is what's pulling. You can even leave the heels on the ground, pulling the knees in, flat back. We don't want an arch back here. We're really engaging the core here. And then just some side to side rolls and rocks. Moving with the breath. Letting it be a rhythm. Maybe even drawing circles with the knees. The low back remains flat though as you do this. Maybe a little tilt of the low back as the pelvic pulls forward. Really drawing circles with the pelvic bowl, the tailbone, the knees, and then reverse. Coming into what is called happy baby. The knees are where they are. We're going to send the heels up towards the sky. Maybe do a little stretch, point and flex, point and flex. Notice my tailbone and my low back are still rooted to the earth, right? I'm not overarching the back, but there's this engagement of the low core. Spread the legs apart to a depth that feels okay. We're not trying to hurt the body. Bend the knees. Reach for the shins, the ankles, or the edges of the outside of the foot. Happy baby. Nice and open here. Really allowing the feet to push into the hands and the hands down on the feet. The shoulder blades and the shoulders soft though. There's no tension in the arms as you engage this push-pull effect. Stillness or rocking. Welcome here. Beautiful. Keeping this, we're going to bring the heels together. The knees spread out wide. You might feel this deeply in the inner thighs, hips, yoni, sacrum, perineum area. Bring the knees back into the chest. Bring the toes down to the earth. Really engage that core. And then we're going to roll to one side. Use your hands to come up. We are now in tabletop position. Cat-cow. And just kind of paw through your wrists here. We want the shoulders over the wrists. And then I'm pressing my fingertips into the mat so that this part of my finger kind of bubbles up. It doesn't need to be so crazy, but we just want a little bit so we're not flat fingered, but there's a little engagement in the fingertips supporting the wrists and the engagement of the entire shoulder and the arm. And then hips over knees. We're going to come into some cat-cows here. So inhale, belly drops, tailbone lifts, heart shines through the shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down and back. Exhale, press the floor away. Round through the the pelvis, and then through the vertebrae, chin towards chest. Couple more, your breath, your movement. So inhale drops the belly, you shine the heart through. Exhale, round. You really want to make sure that as you move, the pelvis and the neck are in unison, that you're not over tilting the pelvis farther than the neck and vice versa, but that they're in constant conversation. Noticing that you can go deeper with each one. Using your breath. Beautiful. So this is a foundational movement for yoga, especially in my practices. So this is called cat-cow, this is called tabletop, very foundational. Another one we're going to use is dolphin pose. So to do that, we're actually going to drop to one forearm and then the other. Notice that my elbows are underneath my shoulders still. We're going to press the floor away. There should be little to no weight in the hands so far. Tailbone is lifted towards the sky, and the neck is soft, so you don't want to be like arching your neck. Just a soft neck. Tuck the toes, and what we're going to do here is we're going to really engage the core, and we're also going to engage the forearms and the hands, and we're going to lift the hips up high on our tiptoes, and we're going to want to press the floor away, engage the shoulders. This is a really active posture. So if you ever feel yourself sinking, try to push the floor away, and if you can't, drop back down to your knees, take a break, come into child's pose. And then we reset, right? So we find that tabletop position, we drop down to our forearms, we tuck our toes, we take a deep breath in, and on an exhale we lift up and we press the floor away. Really, really strong here. Option to look down or through, but make sure you're pushing through the shoulders. Hold for a breath or two before dropping the knees and finding your child's pose. Here in child's pose, the hips can be wide or close together. The knees can be wide or close together. Find what feels good in your body today. And play around. Sometimes the hands want to be out long, they want to be bent. Just find comfort. We're going to come into a child's pose twist. So you come up and still in this child pose position with my legs. My left hand is straight, just enough gap between the mat and my arms so that I can slide my right arm, palm face up, right ear towards the mat. Breathing. You should feel a nice stretch on the right shoulder, right side body, and if you want a little bit more, you can actually lean with your hips into the right side. Come back to center now. Find a nice child's pose. Fully release. Notice. And we're going to do it on the other side. So threading the left arm under, palm face up, left ear to the mat. Beautiful. Coming back, taking 2 breaths in child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to actually roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. So I'm dragging my hands, I'm engaging the core, I'm trying to roll up from the pelvis, low back, mid back, upper back, cervical spine. Roll the shoulders, So sometimes sitting on our heels can be a little bit too much. If that is for you, you're just going to place a bolster, spread your knees apart, right in between your legs so that you can sit comfortably. Otherwise, this is where we'll be today. And I want to bring special attention to our pelvic bowl. So the way that our pelvic bowl is really important in our yoga class. And it's something I focus on very much. So just notice if you're tilting or arching your tailbone. So a tilt would be like there's too much of a roundedness, and an arching is more of like an S in your lower back. And then just move between those for a second. Really feel first your mobility in that, and it could be little, it could be lots, just notice. And then I want you to find what it feels like to have a neutral spine where the tailbone is not quite tucked under, but it's also not arching, and there's just this nice elongation down towards the earth where the spine moves up, the crown of the head sits and floats beautifully over the sacrum. Now the spine naturally curves, so you're going to feel a little bit of a curve in your lower spine. That's okay. We want the natural curve. We just don't want it overemphasized or underemphasized. Beautiful. Now we're going to wake up the joints of our ankles. So either hands to blocks or the floor. I love using blocks because they're just helpful. I just love them. So I'm going to press into the blocks here, and I'm going to lift both of my knees, and my tailbone is on my toes, my big toes, and I'm balancing. So either you can practice balance here, or you can keep your hands on blocks or the ground. And you should really feel this stretch on the front side of your ankles. If it's too much, please lower just a little bit. We're looking to open the body in safety, not force. And we'll just take about 5 breaths here, so either playing with some balance, just breathing with the sensation. Beautiful. Slowly, 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 we come down by shifting the weight, rolling slowly, being very gentle. Coming forward once again into that tabletop position, tucking the toes, and then we're going to send the hips over the heels so that we get a nice arch stretch. Really press your weight from your hands. This is what gives you that tension for the heels. If you're not feeling enough, you can walk the hands closer to the knees, push the floor away, and then lift your knees up off of the mat. Just play around here for a moment. Finding your flow, your rhythm, how your body wants to open in this moment. And then back down. We're going to come all the way down onto our bellies and practice another foundational movement here. It's called Cobra, or upward facing dog. So we're going to start with Cobra. The hands are underneath our shoulders, just outside of our breasts. Really relax the forehead on the ground. Relax all tension in the body. Bring the big toes to touch. Find your breath, and on an inhale, what's going to happen is we're going to lift, really engage the toes, the feet, the legs, and we're going to lift the chest up off of the mat, just ever so slightly. The shoulders are drawing down and back, and the head and the neck nice and long, as if there's a straight line from the tailbone through the crown of the head. So we're not looking up or rounding, just a nice long spine. Exhale, release to the floor. We're really trying to engage the back muscles, so all of our glutes, our hamstrings, our feet, and our back. Just a couple here. So take a full breath out, Fully release the tension after each one. And on an inhale, you pull yourself up. You roll yourself up. Shoulders down the back. Exhale to the floor. 2 or 3 more. Remembering to shake it out between each rep. Maybe you want to hold at the top. If you hold at the top, remember to breathe. Your fingers and palms should actually be very, very light, as if you could take them away. This is how you know you're engaging your back. Exhale, release. We're going to press the hands into the earth, move through tabletop, and come all the way back to child's pose. Really let the fingers go long, the arms go long. Relax. Beautiful. Inhale, we rise to tabletop position. Really engage the core here. So that means like we're not dumping in the shoulders, we're not dumping in the hips, but because we're pressing through our hands, we're zipping up our core, which just means we're kind of like crunching down here in the low abdomen so that we're not tilting in the pelvic bowl. Tuck the toes, lift the knees 2 or 3 inches off the mat and hold, press the floor away, breathe. Core activation here as we press up into downward facing dog. Hips go first. So as you lift your hips, your knees straighten, and then you press back through the hands, downward facing dog. Bend one knee, straighten the other. Find your breath. This is another foundational yoga movement. Stretching the hamstrings as you bend and straighten your knees. Be gentle, wake up your body slowly. Don't press it or force it. Breathe and notice. Beautiful, back down. So we're going to shift the weight onto our toes, come in between so the weight is balanced between hands and toes. Bend the knees back down towards the floor. Tabletop position. Go through a couple rounds of cat-cow. Exhale, press the floor away. Inhale, open, shine the heart, look up. Exhale, press the floor away. Round. Maybe you want to add some circles in the shoulders. Just play around here for a moment. I'm going to practice that one more time. Press the hands into the earth, tuck the toes, engage that core, lift the knees, hold and breathe. Lead with the hips, come into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to try some balancing here because it's also part of yoga. So we're going to ground down into the left foot. We're going to peel the right toes or the right heel up off of the earth. And we're going to send the weight all the way into this left big toe. And this left heel if it's touching the earth. No problem if it's not. Balanced weight between both hands. We're going to leave this right foot on the left foot to emphasize balance and steadiness in this foot. If you feel stable, then we can come into three-legged dog, which is bringing that right leg all the way up towards the sky. Breathe. And exhale, back down towards the earth. Shake it out, move your hips. Redistribute your weight. If you need to take a break because your arms are tired, that's okay. Meet us back here in downward facing dog when you're ready. And we shift the weight into the right. Peel the left foot off the earth and place the left toe on the right big toe. Emphasize stability, grounding. Balanced weight between both hands, looking towards the toes. Strong arms, soft shoulders. Reach that foot up towards the sky. Breathe. And come back down. Full breath in, full breath out. Balance between foot and hand. Coming back down to tabletop position and child's pose. Integration. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale, we rise back up, and we're going to come into a plank position. So we can start with knees on the floor, strong arms, strong core, or if we feel comfortable, we can come into our plank. And in our plank, once again, pay attention to your tailbone. Are you tilting it or tucking it? You want that neutral tailbone, push the floor away, and then kind of rock on your toes. You want to be a little bit forward. Look forward. Breathe. This is a strong movement, and it can be done with knees on the floor or knees up in the air. Your choice. There is no right or wrong. You can do all of yoga just by keeping your knees on the floor. This is about your body. We're going to come into what's called chaturanga. So if our knees are on the floor, we shift our weight forward, we bend the elbows, and we come down towards the floor. Right heart hits the floor first. Untuck the toes. Cobra. This is part of a vinyasa. Come back down. If we are doing this from plank, it's similar. Shift the weight forward. Now you have options here. You can come all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Or you can do my favorite thing, which is kind of like combining a knees and a plank. Shift the weight forward, bend the elbows, bend the knees touch the earth, the chin touches the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Breathe and let go of tension. Sometimes when we start doing strength movements, our minds can get a little swirly. So come back to that intention, right? The intention you set at the beginning of class. We're here to learn foundations. We're here to connect with our body through love, not force. It's not about the posture. It's about presence. Beautiful. Okay, we only have a couple more, and then this series of foundations is over, and we will be building off of all of these postures throughout the months and years together. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, we're going to talk about another strength exercise that I think a lot of the yoga community takes for granted, and it's called a step through. So I'm going to demonstrate what a step through is, and I'm also going to demonstrate how to do it differently if a step through is not available to your body, because it's not always about, like flexibility or strength. It is about anatomy, and some bodies just can't do it, and that's not your fault. That's your body. And this is yoga. It's about accepting our bodies as they are and not forcing ourselves to do something that is going to hurt us. So, a traditional step through. We are in downward facing dog, and it's going to start with that balance, right? Right knee into chest. Maybe it comes from a three-legged dog. It doesn't matter. We're just on one foot. The knee is into the chest. We're really pressing the floor away. As we come forward, we're shifting the weight. We're coming high onto the toe of our back foot. Push the floor away like we're in cow on the floor in like tabletop position. Really round back here. we're sucking the knee into our heart as if we could like absorb it. And then we're stepping through. We can use blocks here to help. And then we come into a lunge. Right? Blocks are really helpful here too. Blocks are great. I love blocks. So that's one way to do a step through. Another way is, say if we're doing a flow and I'm like down dog, coming into low lunge, step it through, and you're like, I can't do that. It's so simple. We're going to come back down to our knees. If you need blocks, you can use them. You don't need to use blocks. And then you're just going to bring the knee forward, right? So let's do that again. It's from downward facing dog. We drop to our knees, and then we bring the foot forward. That's it. And we find our little lunge. And it doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to mean a thing. So let's be here in our right lunge. However, you need to practice your step through or coming down to knees. Meet me in this lunge with the right foot forward. So in a lunge, we always want the right knee over the right ankle, or maybe the right knee a little bit over the ankle, but we never want it over the toes. You're going to cause lots of problems in your ankles. Blocks are really good here to start because it will keep you from dumping and rounding in the back. What we want here is to be pressing the hips down, but also pressing from the feet, from the earth, growing up. And this keeps us from sinking into the lower back, into our joints, keeps our joints healthy. So we're simultaneously letting the hips go wide and long and relaxed, and pressing, activating, pulling this right hip back, letting this left hip go long. And this is a foundational posture we will use in most of my classes. And I love the blocks here because I think they're just so versatile. So just spend some time, maybe rock the hips back and forth. Notice what you notice here. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to bring this right knee back to meet the left knee and take a seat on our heels and just integrate for a moment. Coming back to your breath, noticing where your mind went. Coming back to that tailbone, that pelvic rotation. Are you arching? Are you neutral? Beautiful. I'm going to do a little bit of auric cleaning here. Inhale, hands go up, wide and to the sky. Exhale, palms face out, or turn out, and we're pushing it away, calming the mind. Inhale, draw a nice big circle around you. Reach up, soft shoulders. Exhale. One more. Great. We're going to meet in our left lunge. So you can practice your step through from down dog if you want, or you can just meet me there. Left lunge. Notice the difference right away. Your right foot and your right side and your left side all have different stories to tell. So find the knee over the ankle. Find your blocks where you need them. Really let the hips sink. And then press, grow up out of the floor. There's lots of engagement here. We're not sinking and letting go. There's lots of engagement here. And once again, we're going to come to this pelvic floor. Are we tilting the pelvic floor? And that will look like the belly is pressing out and the mid-back is sinking in. We really want to scoop that up. And that happens by pressing into our front foot and drawing the navel to the spine. Beautiful. Breathe. And then just play around a little. Move from side to side. Let your hips go one way and then the other. And breathe. Lovely. Let's step it back. And let's do a little bit of a cool down. So once again, we're sitting on our heels. If that's uncomfortable, place a bolster in between your legs. And into a nice moment of meditation, of stillness, maybe a hand to the heart. Noticing your heartbeat, the sounds around you. Giving gratitude to this vessel, this body. Saying thank you for all it does for you, the places it walks you, the blood it pumps, keeping your organs alive and healthy. Beautiful. We're going to come all the way down to the floor, once again on our back. And we're going to do one more foundational posture. It's called bridge. I love bridge. We might want to use these blocks. If you're looking for more core and you're looking for more strength, you won't need the blocks. But I'm a yin lover, so I will be using the blocks. We're going to practice that anterior posterior tilt with the tailbone, right? So on our backs, there should be no tilt. Knees are bent, maybe wider, a little bit wider than the hips, and walk the heels as close to the glutes as you can without there being any pain. From here, my back is flat. What we're going to do is imagine that the pelvic bowl, the womb space, if you're a woman, is full of water. And what we're going to do is we're going to tilt it forward, back is going to arch, the shoulders are going to pull down, there's still this nice, beautiful, long spine, and it's like it's pouring the water out, like a waterfall, right? And then we're going to scoop the water up. So to scoop it up, we lead with the sacrum vertebrae, scoop, 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 scoop. We're tilting the pelvic bowl up towards the sky. My back flattens. And we've scooped up our water. And again, releasing the water very slowly. See if you can articulate it vertebrae by vertebrae. There's just a few vertebrae in the lower body. Scooping and tilting. Good, this is going to be our foundation into bridge pose. So as we come into bridge pose, we're going to come into neutrality. So in scoop, just find your scoop where you're pressing actively that back into the floor. And then neutral is releasing the scoop, but not tilting. So the back is still touching the floor, but there might be a little lift, but there's no arch. Just notice the difference. From here to come into bridge, we're really going to tilt the pelvic bowl forward, press into the feet, roll. While you're pressing into the feet, roll, scoop, 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 scoop until you can't scoop anymore. And then we're going to begin scooping still, vertebrae by vertebrae, by pressing into the feet. Scoop, 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 all the way up to the mid-back. Press, 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 press. Keep the throat open. And notice if your knees are pressing too far forward, press them back so that you make space in your vertebrae. Throat is open. There, the weight is evenly distributed between your feet and your shoulders. Look up towards the sky. Breathe. You can walk your shoulders underneath for more height if that's something you're into, or you can stack some blocks, however you need. Okay? Just to help hold this posture and open the chest. I love this so much. And breathe. Just receive. Really letting your belly fill up with air. Floating out any tension. Release your feet. Wiggle your toes. Find as much ease in this posture as you can. Strong feet, strong shoulders, but like relaxed, strong. Like you're not clenching. On an exhale, if you have blocks, you're going to press into the feet to lift the hips. And then you're going to roll down, one vertebrae at a time. Like we're releasing that waterfall back down our spine, right? Slow, slow, slow. Get really, really aware as you get to your core. Like how slow, how much can you really articulate each tail or vertebrae down, and then pour it out. Tilt the tailbone, release the waters, and find neutral spine. Releasing the legs to the earth. We're just going to take a few moments here in Shavasana, which is another foundational posture. It's a posture of deep integration, so fully release the control of your breath. Maybe 3 sighs, just to release the breath back to the body. Closing the eyes, really letting the bones hold the tissue, the ligaments, the joints, the blood, the muscles. Letting the body rest and integrate the movement. It's in this stillness that new energy channels begin to form in the body. Subtle and not so subtle. If your low back ever hurts in Shavasana, all you need to do is bend the knees and bring the knees to touch. And you just rest. And you listen. Let go, you surrender, and you observe. Beautiful. We're now going to roll to one side and gently place the hands on the earth and press yourself up. Coming into a seated position just to close class or session. Find your sits bones, find your vertebrae. Remember to sink into the bones, but also rise through the vertebrae. Soft heart. Taking this moment, maybe hands to heart center, or if you want to come into the mudra, the namaste mudra of peace and presence. Noticing how your body feels in this moment, how your emotional body is, how your mental body is, how your physical body is. Bowing the chin towards the chest, bringing the thumbs to the forehead. May all beings be free. May all beings be healed. May all beings know safety, know love. May all who need this healing receive it. And so it is. My dear friends, I'm really, really excited to share this practice with you and to deepen over the next coming weeks as we exit Capricorn and enter Aquarius season. I will be folding in some of that more starting on January 18th or 19th for the new moon. I will see you all then. Stay safe.